So after a hiatus of 2 years, we finally saw this man wearing the India cap on the cricket field in the recently concluded Indore Test match. And as much as he's known for his batting skills, he's also known to be very gritty and determined on the cricket field. Talking to us is the comeback man of Indian cricket at the moment, Gautam Gambhir. Gautam, thanks so much for talking to NDTV. Firstly, do you believe in destiny? The reason I ask you that is because, you were, just to put it that way, number 4 in the pecking order as far as test openers are concerned. 1 gets injured, 2 gets injured, and you play the test match.
Look, obviously, after you asked me, now I can say that obviously I do believe in destiny, because especially after the Dilip Trophy, when I wasn't picked for the New Zealand series, I was thinking of nothing at all about the New Zealand series, and suddenly you get a call that one opener is injured, and then you make it to the team, and suddenly the other one gets injured, and then you make it to the playing 11. So obviously it has to be destiny, nothing more than that.
Okay, it could have all gone wrong because you injured your shoulder while fielding and then while taking that run. Tell us what was going through your mind. Were there thoughts that crossed your mind, oh my God, that's it, I may not get that second inning batting that you so desired at that moment?
Look, obviously it was a tricky situation as well, but at the same time, sometimes you got to go through the pain as well. You want to cross that pain barrier, because that is what mental toughness is all about. We keep talking about mental toughness and all that kind of a stuff as well. Unless and until you don't experience these kind of things and you're not able to cross these barriers, you would never be able to judge yourself on that mental fitness scale as well. So I thought that I was not thinking too much about whether I'm going to get another opportunity and those kind of stuff as well, because these are things which I can't control. You can ultimately control what you can control, that is. And the thing was that it was again another opportunity, another inning for me to showcase my talent and do something good for the country as well. And that is how I was taking the second inning as well. Even after I got injured, I thought that I got that one night break, and then obviously took a lot of painkillers, and I thought that it was, as I said, that it was another inning for me to do something special for the country.
Okay, so you were determined to grab hold of that opportunity, but somewhere the back of your head, while you must have been batting even after that one night's rest, taking those painkiller injections, that you're not 100%, that there is something that is amiss in your body. Was that thought there, and how did you overcome that while batting?
Look, I think when you're in the middle and when the adrenaline takes over, you don't think those things as well. It is all about just being in the middle, being in the battlefield, and try and just forget everything else. As I said, that sometimes it's very important to cross that barrier of pain, and then when you do well, obviously it gives you a lot of satisfaction as well. It's all about self-satisfaction as well, and when you end up getting those runs, whatever runs or whatever you could contribute in the team success, it gives you far more happiness as compared to when you would have been 100% fit and done something special, because this is something which has actually tested me mentally as well, and where I actually stand when it comes to the mental toughness. Because in international cricket, if you want to be a successful player, you got to be really mentally tough, and all these things you got to be able to handle these things.
Okay, both your innings were different because of course the situation was completely different at the times that you were batting, in the first inning and the second innings. Was the second inning, also because the situation demanded it, also a timely reminder to everyone that Gautam's not just playing test cricket, he would like to play the shorter format too?
Look, obviously as a cricketer, till the time you keep playing cricket, you want to play as much all the formats and as much as you can. But again, as I said, that you got to be, it's important to stay in the present as well. You should not be thinking too much ahead of yourself. And as I said, whatever opportunities I get, whether I'm playing Ranji Trophy, IPL, international cricket, you got to just go out there and try and contribute and try and help your team win as well. And I've always maintained one thing, that if I keep thinking about the platform, it would have been very difficult for me to continue till now, because obviously then your hunger is not there, and obviously the passion starts dying as well. So for me, I think platforms have never mattered. It was a whatever battle between a bat and ball. It was just that people were talking about test cricket as well. Ultimately it's a bowler running in with the red ball, and you've got to try and score runs with and I approached the test match exactly the same way as I approached the Dilip Trophy as well, and that is something which I've been very fortunate that I could actually be able to do it for last 2 or 3 years. And I've always maintained that because I was not thinking too much about the platforms, I was able to do it. If I was thinking about the platform, I wouldn't have enjoyed playing Ranji Trophy, I wouldn't have enjoyed playing IPL as well. Then obviously physically I would have been there, but mentally I would always be thinking about playing international cricket, and that is not the right frame of mind you want to be in. If you really want to keep continuing playing cricket, you got to be staying in the present. And again, at the moment I'm only thinking about Ranji Trophy, going to Calcutta and playing against Karnataka, and let's see what future has in store, and whatever opportunities I get, try and do well and try and help your team win.
Okay, after that stroke-filled 50 that you got there, one remembers you walking off the field, and that one image which was very distinct was Virat comes in, and there's a sort of a pump fist both of you give each other. Now, that was different from some awkward scenes that we've seen between the two of you. So how's the chemistry between the two of you?
Look, first of all, I want to just make this thing very clear as well, that when you're playing against opposition, when you're playing against each other, you want to go out there and win a game of cricket for your team, and for that you got to be aggressive. You have to be aggressive, and as a leader, if you want your team to be aggressive, you got to be aggressive yourself as well, because you can only expect your team to play the way you play on the cricket field as well. So there are times when both of us are aggressive individuals. We are passionate individuals, and we want to do well for our respective teams as well. But when you play for the same team, even if you've got differences of opinion, there's nothing wrong, because I feel that it's good to have differences of opinion in any setup. But till the time your aim and your ambition is the same and your motive is the same, just to make your country proud and try and help your team win, there's nothing wrong in it. We both have the same ambition, which is to make our country win and try and win each and every game as possible and try and contribute to the team's success. And obviously there was nothing personal about it, and we've always believed in that even if we've had some heated arguments on the cricket field, we've met very nicely off the field as well, and it is fine. This is what professional people do. This is what professional sportsmen do as well. That tomorrow, I want to make this thing very clear, tomorrow if I play against Virat again, and if I have to be aggressive, I would be aggressive, because that's the kind of personality I have, and that's the way I want to play this game as well till the time I play, and I expect the same from him as well. That we are pretty good friends, and we want to be pretty good friends, but not on the cricket field. Off the cricket field, we want to be very good friends. We can share a lot of different things, and obviously we can discuss on a lot of other matters as well, not only about cricket but about life as well. But on the cricket field, it's serious business.
Okay, you mentioned leadership in that answer of yours. Now, I'd like you to tell us, also because you've played under different captains, you yourself are a very capable leader, be it for Delhi or then for Kolkata Knight Riders. So I'm not trying to ask you to compare Virat with previous captains that you played under, but as a leader yourself, do you see certain traits which are good about Virat's captaincy?
Lots. I think the most important trait is that he doesn't ask players to do what he himself can't do, which I think is a very, very important trait to have. I feel that, and that is what I've always believed in as well, that if you can't expect your team to do what you're not being able to do, and that is something he leads by example, and that is what that's why people say that leading by example is not about just trying to portray yourself in a different way. It is about doing small things, and as I said, that if I expect my team to be aggressive on the field, I have to be aggressive myself as well, and exactly that's what he does as well, that he wants people to play aggressive brand of cricket, he wants people to play fearless brand of cricket, and that's how he bats as well, and that shows in his batting and in his overall persona as well. So I think that is the most important quality a leader needs to have, that do what you should expect from your players, what you yourself can do.
Okay, now I'm going back to your batting now. One distinct difference that we've seen is the way you stand now. Your stance is completely different, your open stance that we see. What was the thought behind that? And most analysts would say that while it will help you play the short ball really well, but driving the ball wouldn't be easy with a stance like that. How do you see all of that?
Look, I think there's been a lot of talk about this stance as well, and I honestly want to tell you this, that I don't even honestly know how much open do I stand. It's all about watching. It's actually all about watching the ball with two eyes and then react to what's coming towards you as well. Obviously, we keep talking a lot about technical stuff as well, about your back lift, about your shoulder, about your elbow and all those kind of stuff as well, but sometimes you realize the most important thing is watching the ball. You end up missing that as well. Till the time you are very clear in your thinking and in your mind that you're watching the ball really well, and you're absolutely blank and you're watching the ball with two eyes, rest all the things can be taken care of. And this actual thing started when I went to Australia, and obviously Justin Langer was a strong believer in this saying from Muhammad Ali, what your eyes can't see, your hands can't hit. So we had a very, very elaborated discussion on that as well, and after that only I realized that how important it is to watch the ball properly and watch the ball clearly as well. And I was realizing that whatever, a lot of people asked me that when I was scoring runs, what was the need to change this as well, and I realized that maybe I was not in control of my game what I wanted to be. Maybe if I could have scored runs, I was scoring runs, but somewhere down the line as an individual, you deep inside you know that you're not being in control the way you want to be. And then I realized that how much important it is to watch the ball with two eyes and then just react to it as well, and that is what I've done. And most of the time I don't even know where I stand, what guard do I take, because it's all about just watching the ball and reacting to it.
Okay, now if one were to go through your Twitter timeline, one thing that's very obvious is your love and admiration for the Indian Army. Keeping that in mind in the current situation, what would you make of playing cricket with Pakistan?
Not at all. I would not even think about playing cricket with Pakistan, because for me I think the life of a people are far more important than any sports or any other thing as well. So I'm a complete believer that if we don't play, if we don't have any relation or anything with Pakistan, I'm absolutely fine with it, because I feel that it is as Indian. I'm not talking about me as a cricketer or me whatever as an opening batsman or whatever. I'm purely talking as an Indian. For me, I think it's very important to protect our own people in our own land, and if we can't do that, and I don't think so we should have any other relationship with Pakistan till the time we're not able to secure our own people.
But what would you say to those that say that, you know, cricket and politics shouldn't be mixed?
Look, as I said, that forget about any other thing. Try and think just for once being an Indian as well. I think I haven't lost anyone I haven't lost my family member. Ask those people who've lost their family members. If you would go and ask them the same question, what would they answer as well? So for a moment, just try and feel for those people as well who've lost their someone who's lost his son, someone who's lost his husband, someone who's lost his father. So go and ask them, and you would get that answer as well. For me, sitting in my room, I could easily say that why do we compare cricket with politics? But if I put myself in their shoes, I would get that answer, and I think for sure I'll get this answer that we should not have any relation with Pakistan.
Right. Finally, now apart from your own cricketing career, I know you're involved with a junior IPL sort of league. Could you tell us a little bit more about that? What is it all about?
Look, I think it's a great platform. I think though it's not an ideal platform for the young kids because it's a T20 format, I'm not a big believer in that, but at least it's a platform where people can go out there and express themselves as well, because I remember when I was in school, I used to crave for these kind of opportunities. We hardly used to get those matches as well, but now at least the kind of magnitude it's happening at with 22 cities and 16 teams, obviously it gives a lot of players that platform where they can at least showcase their talent as well. And the most important thing is that it has an anti-corruption branch as well, so that kids at 16 or 17 get to know the importance of playing with honesty and playing with integrity of the game as well. So that is something which is very, very new and which is very, very important as well. From the selection to the tournament as well, there's this anti-corruption unit. So I think that it is a great platform, and hopefully it's a success, so that people can organize the 50 over and the 3-day or a 4-day competition as well.
All right, Gautam Gambhir, thanks so much for talking to us. All the best for the Ranji game and the England tour.
Thank you.
So much.